Senator Cramer from North Dakota is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the witnesses for being here. Mr. Coes, I'm gonna initiate a conversation with you that will play off a little bit, I think, on your conversation with Senator Van Hollen relating to formula fixes. And so I'm looking for some potential fixes. To a challenge I just learned about recently, I was at a groundbreaking ceremony for an expansion of the Hector International Airport in Fargo. And Fargo, of course, is our most populous city in North Dakota. And the mayor, Tim Mahoney, came up to me, and it's one of the great things about a small place. The mayor talks right to you. He's better than any lobbyist, just so you know. And I love my lobbyist friends. But he brought this to my attention that Fargo had gone, they had one more baby or something and went from 199,999 people to 200,000. So, you already know where I'm going. And he noticed this, reduction in the formula funding, or at least in the amount that Fargo got. Now, it gets a little more nuanced than that, and I'm sure you're familiar with that, because they went from an MPO to a TMA, in the transit funding. But by the way, just so you know, and I think this gets back to your previous discussion with Senator Van Hollen. The formula changes, of course, but not just the formula, the flexibility for the community to use the money the way they were using it, which in this case of Fargo was for operational expenses, and not understanding all of the fungibility of cash and all the ways you maybe could do this. He was just asking for help. And so as we dug into it a little more, we learned that there are, in fact, rules, laws that govern how you can distribute these funds, the transit funds, based on the size of a community. My concern is that there's a little bit of a perverse incentive in that formula that actually discourages growth. And we don't want that, I don't think, on the one hand. On the other hand, maybe there's a rational reason for it. My ask of you is just I describe this situation, tell you this story, and then maybe just see if you have some thoughts about it, ideas on how we could either legislatively or through a budget process or whatever discretion the agency would have to sort of not punish communities like Fargo and see if there's a better way to do this.
Senator Cramer, thank you for bringing that issue here, not only to my attention, but I know this is one that's shared within our building.
Sure.
Communities need to be able to meet their needs. And we believe that whether it's through the formula program or even from our discretionary grants, we should be able to give them as much flexibility to achieve those goals. We do believe, and as I was discussing with Senator Van Hollen, that transit agencies, particularly coming out of COVID, are recognizing that travel patterns are different.
Sure.
We're seeing that now developers want to build near transit and create more walkable communities. We need to give transit agencies their ability to leverage not only the pent-up demand that they're seeing in the private market, but also the unique needs of their residents as we do these travel demands. So we would love to work with you, as we say with Senator Van Hollen, to look at how we can make sure the formula programs, particularly on the transit side, particularly these larger systems, have the flexibility they need to meet the changing environment, which again, comes back to people want to live in great quality neighborhoods.
Sure. Well, and I love that you refer to them as larger communities because we kind of consider Fargo to be larger than the small ones,
right? Exactly.
But smaller than the large ones.
That's what they say about Thomasville, my hometown. Right. We're still a small town.
Yes, that's the flexibility, which is I really appreciate, and quite honestly, and I know we've been talking. Obviously, we're talking about the bipartisan infrastructure bill, which I not only supported, voted for, but championed, and the formula issues of all of the distribution of funds is really important to small states, right? That we can't sort of reserve 100 miles for gravel in the middle of an interstate highway system. But similarly, for our communities where you have populations that certainly depend on good transit systems, we just want it to be, to your point, be successful. We want the communities to be successful. So to the degree there's legislative fixes that are necessary, maybe Chris and I could work together with you on some of that, right? And then where there's flexibility within the agency, we sure encourage that as well.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chairman, that's all I have. Thank you. Thank you.
Senator Cramer, thank you for the